Welcome to the Greater Victoria Real Estate Show. I'm Jane Johnston, realtor here in Victoria, and this is a show where we cut through the noise and talk about what's actually happening in our local market.
I'm Andrew Plank, also a Victoria realtor. We'll talk stats, timing, neighborhoods, and what we're seeing behind the scenes.
And I'm Jen Lowe, mortgage broker. I'm the numbers person of the group, and I'll chime in with the mortgage side.
Each week, we break down what the market means for you.
All focused right here on Greater Victoria.
No hype, no pressure, just honest conversations, local insight, and practical advice.
Let's get into it.
Awesome! I love our new introduction.
Let's get into it. Hey, welcome.
Welcome. How are you, Andrew?
Oh, I'm tired. We have a sick kitty at home, so yeah, he fell off our balcony and he broke his scapula. So he's been at the animal hospitals and back, and he spent the night with us. We had to, care for him, and now, anyway, it's a lot. But don't expect a stellar performance from Andrew today, please.
Okay.
Andrew just wants to curl up in the corner and have a nap.
Okay, I understand, and that can be very stressful. I get it. Yeah, I have a dog. She's not so young anymore. There she is.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's do the show then. We're going to be talking about open house season, and we're going to be giving some tips and tricks for buyers on how to make the most of it. So, and then hopefully Jen will come. She's got an emergency with one of her clients, so she is doing some specialty meetings, I guess, with them to make sure that they get through it okay. And that's what you want a great mortgage broker for. Okay.
Yeah, we all understand these things are time sensitive and we have to sometimes pivot. So we give allowances for this for sure.
Do you want to do the stats first and then do the topic?
Yeah, let's get into it. Sure, we'll do the stats. And if Jen is able to make it, we'll get to her take on the mortgage stuff as well. Sure, let's get into the stats. So we always review the last 7 days, compare this week to the week prior. And so far, well, this week we've had 313 properties went live. And that's a little down from the 396 the week before. We had 140 properties go pending, unconditional, versus 130 the week before. And we've had 122 price decreases versus 130 the week before. And 41 properties expired versus 50 the week before. Jane, do you have any comments on what we're seeing there?
I do. It's March break.
It's March break. Yeah. So that does explain some things.
Yeah. You know what? So the new listings, actually, now that I go back to the Market Watch, they've already gone up to 334 in the last little while. So I'm seeing some more activity, and pendings have gone up to 149. So we were just talking before the show about how these really change depending on what's going on. So just so everyone's aware, it is looking pretty active, actually. So that's good.
We always find that things do go in, during, for example, spring break, there's a bit of a lull. Long weekends, there's a bit of a lull. So, and then the corner between the beginning of a month and end of the month as well can make some differences to these stats. So we always try to take some of that into account.
Yeah, the other thing to think about is just we're coming out of March break this week, and then we're going to be heading into Easter. And so it's time for families to get together, and often that's when the discussion is happening about what to do with real estate. So, all right. So
yeah, go ahead.
Our list to sale ratio is 44.73% this week, and that's up from last week of 32.8. So it is active. So good job, everybody. All right. And this is the stats as of Monday. We're at 395 up to the 23rd of March. That's compared to 613 for the total month of March in 2025. Our new listings as of Monday were
and that was in terms of net unconditional sales.
Net unconditional sales, sorry.
Yeah.
New listings were at 1,111 for the month so far, and that's compared to 1,487 for March 2025. So we're down a bit. And total active listings were at 3,194, and that is higher than we were last year at 3,024. So what I'm reading from this is we had more coming on the market earlier last year, and people are holding off a bit, I think, to sell. I feel that. Do you feel that?
Holding off to sell? I mean, maybe. I mean, I've been encouraging my sellers to get on the market earlier to beat the rush, and they have been. I don't really have many people that are waiting, but I suppose do you have people that are waiting for after Easter? And did you have a lot of people that were trying to get in before this time period?
So I always recommend that people get in early, because then you have a longer runway for selling. And also, most people are getting on the market in April and May, or peak listing times in May. So we want to be there before we get the competition and hopefully find the buyer. But I do find that a lot of people now are waiting to find their home before they're putting their house on the market.
Right. And from that perspective, waiting until there's the most possible selection makes sense to not list your home. But I often have clients in a position where they do want to or need to know that their home is firmly sold before they're going to go shopping. And again, the advice is get your home up, try to get your home under contract. What's the Jane's making body language? Gas and brake at the same time?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, look who we have here.
Hello.
Jen, you're muted.
There you go. Can't hear you.
Well,
that's okay.
Yeah.
Let's continue on. Okay, so
pump the brakes, hit the gas, all this stuff.
Yeah, let's go for Jen's update. Can we hear you?
Can you hear me now?
We got you.
Oh, good. Okay.
Perfect. You guys can hear me okay?
Yes.
So,
you're here.
Good to see you.
All right, so tell us what's going on with financing.
Well, interest rates are fixed. Unfortunately, right now, fixed rates are increasing a lot. Updates every day saying that rates are going up. Definitely nice being a mortgage broker that I've got access to multiple lenders. Right now, the credit unions are a little bit behind on raising these rates. So I've been getting rate holds right now with credit unions. So that's a huge advantage. Banks seem to be quicker to raise the rates in these uncertain times that we're in. Reason for the rates increasing is because of what's happening with the war and oil prices and that kind of thing. So, yeah.
So,
definitely.
If we were super optimistic and thought that this war was to actually come to an end and resolve quickly, and somehow oil security is back to where it was before, or what have you, what do you think what would happen for interest rates? Would they just slowly come back to where they were? Would they immediately come back? What do you imagine or anticipate based on what happens with the future? I know that's a really hard question, but
having been in the industry for as long as I have, I can tell you interest rates go up a lot faster than they come down.
Yeah.
They don't seem to come down nearly as quickly as they go up. But it's nice, having lots of different access to different lenders. I'm able to watch that and able to get the best rates that are out there. So we'll just have to see. What we're dealing with now and is just the effect of anything that President Trump is saying is just causing these the market
Swings.
to react, and so it's been challenging.
Are you finding the same thing with variable rates?
No change to variable rates at all. So honestly, actually the spread, because it kind of, as fixed rates go up, definitely people move towards potentially going with a variable rate. And we've seen some of the spreads that we can get on the variable rates increase, which on that side, it's actually a good thing. So if you can, instead of getting prime minus 0.4, we're able to get prime minus 0.6, for example.
Okay.
So
Okay.
so there's a bit of good news there, and just changing changing directions per se on what's the best option, and looking at, from a variable rate standpoint, looking at a fixed payment variable versus a adjustable rate mortgage. So lots of options to consider.
Okay.
With one other thing,
with the fixed rates going up, that's a bet that
Bonds.
with the fixed rates going up, that's a bet by the banks that the that the variable rate will, or the bank lending rate will also go up. The variable rate will also go up in time. Is that not right?
it's hard to say. I mean, inflation is gone up, or they're saying inflation is going to go up, right? And well, it is, because the cost of gas and oil is gone up. And with that, usually when inflation goes up, that pushes interest rates up on the bank side, or on the overnight lending rate side, which translates to clients that have a variable rate mortgage. The challenge that we also have, though, is that our unemployment numbers are also increasing. So our world that we're living in locally in Canada here, or in Canada, is our economy is not great. So will they raise rates? I don't know. It'll be interesting to see.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
The other
I don't
thing,
think
just
they'll
on
raise rates.
No, it'd be interesting to
Yeah.
see. On a general standpoint too, the other thing I'm running into more and more is any money coming from outside of Canada to put towards a down payment is definitely being scrutinized. And yes, so especially coming from different countries that are deemed higher risk right now, that is posing to be more and more of a challenge. So.
Okay.
Well, we're going to segue now into some tips and tricks for buyers. So how to access open houses and make the most of it. And I'm just wondering, Andrew, if you want to stick with us for this part, or if you want to head out to your cat's doctor appointment.
Yeah, I'm going to have to run really quick, but let's dive into it. At least we can get a little bit into it. Maybe would you mind if I just give a quick dump on some thoughts for opens, and then leave you guys?
Sure.
So, okay, thank you. I mean, first of all, why, like, open houses are something that buyers definitely should anticipate or consider going to. We hear a lot of buyers. I was going to say, I hear a lot of buyers who say, I don't want to bother my agent, and so they're going to go to the open house. But I think that there's a lot of buyers also don't want to go to open houses because they're afraid that they will maybe get sold that house by the listing agent, or get some magical Svengali type of magical speaker will talk them into the home, or they'll fall in love with a home they're not ready for. But I think going to open houses, checking them out, getting to know the market and the inventory is just so vital, and it's such a good way to manage your time, because you don't always have access to your realtor. It is a great way to see segments of the marketplace, and also see homes that are not necessarily the type of home you're normally looking for, but you can start to explore what might be a little bit outside the box, or the edges of your price point, your price range, and so on and so forth. Your agent should be able to support you in those things if you truly want to explore those outside of open houses. But this is just a super important extra tool in your toolbox for getting to see properties. And it's very easy to find them these days, and it's very easy. Most agents will respect your time. If you just go in and say, I'm working with Andrew, or I'm working with Jane, they will say, great, thanks very much. Enjoy yourself, have a look around. And Jane will, I'm going to leave here, but Jane will definitely tell you a lot of things you can do to kind of protect your interests while you are talking to the other agent as well.
Yeah. And while Andrew's been talking, I've just been showing you a website, which I'll put in the chat, which is how to access through the Victoria Real Estate Board. You can select the homes that you want to see. You can create your own driving tour, which is really handy, and it'll give you the order and you can change the order if you want. Super easy to use. So I highly recommend. That's probably the biggest takeaway, I would say, for this particular topic. What do you think?
The biggest takeaway is just, that go to the website or use the tools.
Use the tool there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great tool. I look forward to seeing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's called just Google Open House Victoria. It'll take you to the Victoria Real Estate Board site. It'll show you what's coming up. And then you can click on all the different houses that you want to see. You could change the order, and then you can create a tour and then print that out, take it with you.
Yep. So if you're going open housing on Sunday and you're checking Friday, check again Sunday morning. There may be another open house that's been added. The Victoria Real Estate Board site will include every open house that realtors have publicly announced. So nothing should be missing. It should catch 99.9% of all open houses. But they also get canceled. So another reason for checking before you go, they do get canceled. It might have been advertised Thursday for Sunday, and then Sunday comes, they've actually already sold it unconditionally, and the seller has said, I don't want to have an open house now. So you do want to watch for that. Anyway, thanks everybody. I'm going to run.
Okay.
I'm glad your cat's okay.
Thank you. Yeah. He's okay-ish.
Wow.
But yeah. Okay. Bye, guys.
Okay. Bye. Okay. So the first thing just to understand is the Open House Victoria is probably the best resource that you can use. As Andrew said, it's the most up-to-date, and it works in a timely manner. So agents are opening and closing open houses all the time. So you want to just make sure that you fine-tune your search just before you go out. And you are seeing, of course, what the realtors are putting out there. The other thing is just look for patterns. So if you're looking, I don't know if you remember looking for houses, Jen, but most open houses are typically Saturday and Sunday. And I find that there are some that go from 11 to 1 and then 2 to 4. Do you find that?
Yes. However, I've noticed sometimes are there open houses during the week?
On Thursday nights is another night that I've done them. And the purpose of that is to get people who are commuting home. So if I'm downtown and it's the end of a work day and I have a condo, I might put it on from 5 to 7 or something on a Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah. The other thing I would suggest is don't try and view more than, I would say most people max out around 5 or 6. You're going to get confused if you're looking at too many houses. And then a tip for that is to actually name the houses that you're seeing. So I do that with my clients. So I go in and I'm like, oh, this is like the weird toilet house where the toilet's on a throne or something. Or this is a cat house.
Right.
And then I would say, talk to someone like you first before you go.
So people have an idea.
Yeah, because trust me, everybody I know who says I have up to 500 to spend, and they go looking at 550 condos, they get disappointed.
Right.
So, and then
I feel generally it can be a first step. You know what, we might want to move, but we want to just see what's out there without having to bother a realtor or, go down that road as well.
Yeah. So I would say it's putting the cart before the house.
Of course. Right?
But what people are doing is they're taking action, and then they go, oh, wait a minute, I need all these things in place.
Yes.
So I would suggest meeting with your realtor and telling them, this is what I'm thinking about. They can set up the search for you. You can actually see the open houses as well through the realtor app that we have.
Right.
So, and then if you are going to go, let your agent know that you're going to go, but also I would tell the agent at the open house that you're interested. Not say, oh, I want to write an offer, but say, my agent's Jane, just let her, can you let her know I came through? And it depends on whether or not the agent who's manning the open house is the listing agent or not. But I'd say the biggest mistake buyers make is they don't talk to their agent to say they're interested. And then an offer comes in, and we as buyer agents don't know that our client's been through.
Okay. And then you don't know that if there is pending offers or people are also right. And then they can lose out.
Yeah.
Right.
And as a listing agent, it's actually quite, I'll follow up. I'll ask the people what your names are, and then I'll ask who the agent is. And then I'll just say, Tom and Linda came through my open house today on mirrors. Perhaps you might want to follow up with them, and I'll send them the sharing folder so that the agent looks prepared, and then they can just forward that to the client.
Smart and organized.
Yeah. So one of the things too is when you're looking at an open house, especially I think with an agent, the agent is used to seeing houses all the time, so they know the value. And just understand you're looking at the listing price. You may not be looking at what the sale price is. 100%. So especially the market has balanced out, and so prices may come down a bit. So you want to talk to your agent about what you're seeing and where the value is, and if you should be looking. This is where it might be good if you're looking at 550 condos and the market's coming down on condos, then maybe you can get a deal with something that's just slightly above your price range and bring it into your price range.
Right.
So awesome tips. And then just don't get caught up in the staging. That's what show suites are for. They really do work. I do find that people who are focused on the decor get distracted. So you want to be focused on the light, the noise, and the kind of nuts and bolts of the house.
100%. That would be, it is distracting because when you go into show homes, they're beautiful.
Yeah. And just remember when you're selling that if you have all those personal photos up, people are looking at them and trying to determine who you are and whether or not they fit into your house. That's why you should take them down.
Right.
So what do you think of candles?
What do I think of candles?
In the open houses.
Well, it's kind of like, isn't it kind of like fresh cookies? There's fresh cookies in the oven. Same kind of idea, I guess, right? Like, I mean, it's a lovely smell, but my first question is what are they hiding?
Exactly. So I often find that sellers sometimes have plugins or they have candles going, and that's a no-no, I would say. Cookies are okay because they're natural. Pot's not okay.
Good tip.
But try and keep the smells natural in the house.
Right.
And okay, here's questions you don't ask the agent. Why is the seller selling? Because the listing agent actually can't disclose that. So really what you're asking is what's the motivation of the seller? And then what closing dates are they thinking of? Then you're disclosing your own motivation. And you can ask questions like any recent updates or issues with the house. Those are good questions to ask. And then in a condo, I would ask if there are any upcoming special assessments or plans for renovations for the building. So,
Perfect.
anything else you would add? Do people talk to you after they go to open houses?
Sometimes that's the first, call I get is a referral from an existing client. They've gone, now all of a sudden kind of opened their eyes, someone else from their, friends that are purchasing. And then they'll go look at open houses and then potentially want to get the ball rolling on getting pre-approved.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I hope everyone found this show helpful today. I know I would have liked this information when I was looking 20 years ago before I got into real estate. If you do like the show, let me just say, please like us, subscribe, comment. We'd love to hear what you have to say, and don't forget to share. We want to get your referrals. Absolutely. All right. And if you want to reach us, you can reach Andrew at 250-360-6106. I don't even need to look at it anymore. I've been calling him for so long. You can also reach him by email at info@andrewplank.com. He's also online at realvibe.ca as well as andrewplank.com. And he's on Instagram as Plank Andrew if you want to see how his cat's doing.
Yes.
How do people reach you?
I am at 250-217-4925. Email is jen@jenlow.ca and my website is jenlow.ca.
All right. And I'm Jane Johnston. I'm with the Briar Hill Group at Remax Camosun. You can reach me at 250-744-0775. My email is jane@briarhillgroup.com. And you can get me online at briarhillgroup.com or follow me on Instagram at realtyteacher_Remax_Victoria. And we are on every Tuesday at 2:30. So thanks for joining us today. And stay tuned for our new outro. Here we go. Thanks for joining us on the Greater Victoria Real Estate Show.
We're here weekly, bringing you up-to-date insights on the Greater Victoria real estate market.
Make sure to follow and subscribe on YouTube, Facebook, and wherever you listen to podcasts so you'll never miss an update.
We'll be back next week with more clarity around what's happening and what it means for you.